What is happening, La Familia YouTube? I'm back. It's good to be back. I know it's been quite some time. Oh man, it's been a crazy couple months here, guys. Like, just in my personal life with like house related stuff and stuff like that. So your boy has not been able to buy ish for quite some time. But today is a new day, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm also happy that, shout out to the new subscribers. Thank you guys for coming. And also shout out to the real ones that stayed with me during that hiatus. People who've been watching me for a long time, you guys know I do that a lot because, like I always explain to you, I can't keep buying shit. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. I'm a regular dude. Hopefully one day when my subscriber count, starts to climb, I'll be able to get sponsorships and, maybe companies will start sending me pieces, etc., etc. But anyways, La Familia YouTube, I don't want to ramble too much. We are back, and that's all that matters right now. So today, you guys, before we unbox, today we are looking at Nike's latest, what I would probably consider their latest flagship GR. And if you guys don't know what GR stands for, it stands for General Release. So let's talk about the history, though. There's a small history with the shoe because, so there's this company, and you guys know, if you're new to my channel, I'm more of a tech wear, avant-garde fashion guy. So like a lot of the stuff that I wear is inspired by cyberpunk and futurism and darkness and, and goth and all that stuff. Like anything that's, a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, but I guess forward fashion. So basically the shit you would probably say, man, that's ugly. That's the kind of shit I like, basically. So, but sometimes there are these, especially with the tech wear stuff, there are certain shoes or something like that, that pops up that's more mainstream that I actually see that I could fit into those styles. And the Nike Ava Rover, the shoe we're going to talk about today, is one of those pieces. So just talk about the history real quick. So the reason why I'm explaining about me being a, avant-garde tech wear guy is because there is actually a website or a company, I think out of Japan. No, I feel like they might be out of China. Gosh, I'll put it down here somewhere. But they're called Hayun Seo, and I'll put the logo somewhere so you probably have seen it. Maybe you haven't, but they actually just did a collaboration with the Ava Rover. So this actually wasn't the first time Nike actually released a shoe. They actually released it in collaboration with Hayun Seo. Hayun Seo, I think is how you pronounce it. But they actually did a collaboration version that's all black, and I'm going to put that somewhere. And when I saw this picture here, like I immediately was just like, first of all, the whole fit is amazing. Like this is right up my alley. But then when I immediately stared at the shoes because I love the silhouette of the shoe. And yeah, it turns out it was actually the Nike Ava Rover. What blew my mind about that, though, was that shoe actually sold out. First of all, I didn't even know people knew that much about Hayun Seo, and I'm talking about the US release, by the way. I didn't even know people knew that much about them. So I was a little shocked that those shoes sold out because I didn't think people were even familiar with the company. Or maybe that wasn't it. Maybe people just bought them because they liked the way they looked. So to say that I was not happy, I wasn't happy because I really wanted those shoes, especially in an all-black colorway. But then something happened. Then Nike actually decided to do an actual release of the Nike Ava Rover. And I really, really liked the flagship colorway. Actually, maybe a little bit better than the Hayun Seo colorway. Another thing too, I noticed, one thing I don't do is when I'm on Nike, sometimes I'll look at the shoe and I never scroll down. But when I was looking at the shoe, I scrolled down and it showed what it was styled with because I saw this picture here with the shoe and I was like, man, Nike's really leaning into their futurism, with their general release stuff. And I think that's actually pretty cool. But I don't know what it is, but I actually kind of dug this outfit. There's something about that shirt that reminds me of this company called Hamkiss. If you're a tech wear person, you know what Hamkiss is. They actually do stuff that's more like sci-fi related. So they even go beyond cyberpunk and avant-garde. It's like really out there stuff, but it's amazing. But this shirt reminds me of the kind of stuff that they would actually do, especially with this exoskeleton thing in the back, even though it looks like to some people would be like a normal workout shirt. But the details of the shirt is really, really cool. But yeah, like I was just looking at some of the Nike stuff and I'm like, wow, they're really trying to like tap into more futuristic aesthetic, which is awesome for me. But we all know that Nike's kind of lost the plot. It seems they kind of lost their luster. So I feel like they're trying to get that back, but I don't know who they're trying to tap into, because us people who like techwear and avant-garde, it's a very niche corner of the internet, probably for chronically online people. But anyways, you guys, I'm talking too much. Let's unbox these shoes. I'm gonna put a fit together with it more than likely, so that you guys can see what it looks like in the context of a fit. But then we're gonna do some on feet as well. But let's look at the shoe, let's look at some specs, and let's do all that other stuff. Let's go. All right, La Familia YouTube. So here we got the box, first of all, for the Ava Rover. Definitely digging this box, actually. It's a nice clean look, and I like the little squares. And actually the paper is really cool because it's got this glitch graphic on it. Now this is actually one of the reasons why I did this shoe actually appealed to me, especially in this color, is because of the fact that it did have that glitch pattern on it, and they feel like it gives it a little bit of a nod to a futuristic look. And it's funny, in hand they're extremely light, so a very light shoe. Definitely probably a more for a summer shoe, maybe early fall shoe, if that, but definitely not a winter shoe, just based off how they feel. But just to kind of go over a little bit of specs here, they're performance-ready innovation. They have performance-ready innovation engineered for the city, so it's definitely a lifestyle shoe. And it elevates your everyday with a stacked React X midsole and an ultralight outsole designed with streets in mind. To top it off, it's sleek, breathable upper, and it looks as good as it feels. And I can honestly say they definitely do feel really good in hand. They feel really, really light. So I can't wait to get them on feet, because I have a feeling these are definitely going to be a very comfortable everyday shoe. So just check out the on feet here, and then I'm going to let you guys know how I feel about them as far as like sizing and comfort, etc. There it is, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the description of the specs and just kind of like my first impressions of the shoe, just taking them out of the box. So like I said, they are very light. I will definitely give you that. Now, you guys are going to ask me this question a million times. Here it is. Let's talk about sizing, okay? Sizing. You need to size up. You see this right here, this toe box? Even though this part is wide, it's not very wide in here. So my right foot, which is a little bit bigger than my left foot, definitely crunching up a little bit. Now, I probably could live with it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I probably could just keep them just like, all right. But I'm somebody who likes a little bit of room. I don't like super tight shoes. So I'm definitely gonna size up, I think. So if you have the sizing up a whole size might be too much, but unfortunately I'm Bigfoot gang, so because of that, we don't always get the luxury to go a half size up. But if you do have the luxury to go a half size up, definitely do it. I unfortunately am gonna have to go a whole size up, which means it's probably gonna be way too big on my right foot, but I digress on that. But yeah, so sizing, definitely a little bit of a tighter shoe, I would say. But that being said, very comfortable. My God, you guys, like super light. And this React X is basically like an upgrade from their standard React foam. Is very nice. I mean, it feels like you are stepping into a cloud that kind of like goes like this when you're stepping on it. So it definitely very comfortable. So good job, Nike, on that. However, one thing I want to say, I think Nike might have duped us, you guys, because when I put these on, they felt very familiar to me, and in the aerial view also looked really familiar to me. And I'm like, man, I'm like, what do these remind me of? And it finally came to me. Back in the day, probably like 6 years ago, maybe, I could be wrong. Somebody, check my facts on that. 5, 6 years ago, there was a shoe that Nike had that was all the rage, that looked a lot like this, called the Nike Element React. Okay. And the pair that I had was the Nike Element React 55s. They literally looked exactly like this, except it didn't have like this paneling or anything like that. In fact, I think Undercover from Jun Takahashi, if you're, avant-garde techwear person, you know who that is. He actually did a collaboration with them, and it was probably one of the best Element Reacts that ever dropped. So maybe I'll put some pictures somewhere here if I can find pictures of them. But yeah, these are basically just an upgraded Element React. So I feel like we got a little duped a little bit, but maybe we didn't, because the React X does feel different from the standard React foam that the Element Reacts had. So anyways, La Familia YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I'm actually going to end it with some footage of this in a fit scenario. So I put together a quick little techwear fit. So because obviously we know that that's what it is about for me. So, and I feel like this shoe is good for techwear. Not so much avant-garde, but definitely techwear. And yeah, so enjoy that footage. Again, thank you guys for sticking with me and, let me have my little hiatus. There will be more of them, unfortunately. But with that all being said, like and subscribe. You won't see me that much. You won't get tired of me. So like, subscribe, all that stuff. Almost at 1,000, you guys. Almost there. I feel like I should be at 1,000 already, but hey, I gotta post content to get there as quickly as I want. So, all right, I'm rambling. Enjoy. Definitely get these, by the way. I mean, I definitely think they're a great everyday shoe, but nothing spectacular. I'd probably give them about a 7 out of 10. So there we go. All right, love from me, YouTube. I'm out of here, and we'll see you next time.